Numerous countries have followed the United States in placing sanctions on Russia since the beginning of the Russian war, with energy-related limitations having the greatest effect. Despite the sanctions imposed by American and European nations, Russia and China promptly agreed to a new strategic collaboration, a natural gas pipeline with a length of 8,000 kilometers. The two countries will contribute $78 billion to build it. Russia believes that if completed, this project will become a nightmare for Europe. So, how important is this project? Will it have a huge influence on Europe? Russia is a vast nation. The world's biggest nation is an area that spans the two continents of Asia and Europe. At the same time, Russia has rich natural resources. At the moment, Russian oil reserves are believed to be 8.2 billion tons, or fours of total reserves. Global reserves, Russia has an abundance of natural gas resources in addition to its oil resources. Russia is one of the countries having a large amount of natural gas reserves. It's also natural. East Siberia and Siberia have around 27.5% of the world's resources in the form of gas. And these two regions include 80 of Russia's commercially viable natural gas reserves. Russia is geographically adjacent to Europe. Every day, this site ships a substantial volume of natural gas. The oil was then transferred through pipes to European countries, producing tremendous economic advantages for Russia. Russian natural gas giants collaborated with 5 European corporations and invested 9.5 billion euros to the project's creation in order to securely transport natural gas resources in Russia. However, as a consequence of continuous sanctions from countries such as Europe and the United States, the second base in a pipeline were mistakenly destroyed, having a substantial effect on Russia's energy-related economy. Furthermore, Russia is fully aware that its cooperation with Europe is coming to an end. As a result, Russia must reverse its trajectory and migrate there. Because of their continuous friendship and collaboration, Russia regards China as the finest partner in Asia for accessing new markets. China has long been one of Russia's most important partners. Russia has lately faced sanctions from a number of countries. China, on the other hand, is a country that maintains a neutral stance, has assisted countries with excellent cooperative connections, and has maintained close cooperative links with over $200 billion in commerce has been successfully done between China and Russia up to 2020. Russia is a key provider of resources to China, including coal, natural gas, and oil. After suffering sanctions from a number of countries, Russia and China have finally agreed on a new initiative for strategic cooperation and hope to collaborate once again. Following discussions, China and Russia will contribute around 78 billion yuan to the building of an 8,000-mile natural gas pipeline. Siberian energy to a natural gas pipeline. Everyone is undoubtedly aware that one natural gas pipeline was built prior to the Siberian power. Russia and China built a comparable pipeline. Why does Russia need to construct another natural gas pipeline when there is already one? Construct a pipeline linking Siberian electricity and natural gas. The building of one pipeline by Russia's Siberian Electricity began in September 2014. After receiving a $21.04 billion investment, the project will shortly be completely operational. This natural gas pipeline construction project has a pipe diameter of 1420 millimeters and a total length of almost 3,000 kilometers. Significant Russian Federation. The pipeline passes through cities. It goes via Kuch, the Republic of Sakha, and more till reaching Blago is near to both Russia and Vistagin cities through this pipeline. Russia has been providing natural gas to China. Since the beginning of the crisis in Russia in 2019, a number of countries have joined the United States in imposing sanctions on Russia. Sanctions put on Russia's energy industry. Among the most severe of these sanctions, in light of European and American sanctions, China and Russia quickly agreed to form a new strategic partnership. The two countries have agreed to pay up to $78 billion toward the building. After completion, a natural gas pipeline will span for 5,000 miles, 8,000 kilometers. Russia thinks that this project will be a nightmare for Europe. How important is this initiative? What impact will it have on Europe? Russia is the biggest nation in the world in terms of landmass, including both Asia and Europe. Russia is also the only nation that spans two continents at the same time. Russia was also interested since it has a wealth of natural resources. Russia now has up to 8.2 billion tons of verified oil reserves, accounting for 4 to 5 of the world's total in addition to its oil. Russia has a large amount of natural gas resources. Natural gas resources are abundant in a number of nations across the globe, including Russia. It's also only natural. The world's gas reserves account for around 7.5 of the total, in Siberia, respectively. This is the key natural gas transmission route from. Furthermore, owing of its geographical position, Russia is in some respects close to Europe. Natural gas in large volumes is almost continually transported away from this area. The gas is then sent to nations in Europe, where it provides significant economic gains for Russia. Russian natural gas giants collaborated with 5 European corporations and invested 9.5 billion euros to build the foundation for the project in order to guarantee the safe transportation of natural gas resources in Russia. However, as a consequence of continued sanctions imposed by countries such as the United States and Europe, the fundamental 2 pipeline was also accidentally destroyed, having a huge effect on Russia's economic sector of the energy business. While everything is going on, Russia is clearly aware that its cooperation with Europe cannot be sustained indefinitely. Russia must change its strategy and shift its attention to Asia in order to open up new market prospects. Because of their amicable and fruitful relationship, Russia regards China as the most trusted ally in Asia. China has been and will continue to be one of Russia's most important allies. A handful of nations sanctioned Russia a few days ago. China on the other hand, there's a country that maintains a neutral stance, has supplied assistance to countries with positive cooperative relationships, and has a strong working relationship with nations with positive cooperative ties. Relations of cooperation Russia. By the year 2022, the amount of money exchanged in commerce between China and Russia will have topped $200 billion. Russia is the source of many of China's resources, including oil, natural gas, coal, and other minerals. Following the application of sanctions by many nations, China buys them from Russia. Following a dispute, China and Russia have decided to jointly spend around $78 billion in the development of a natural gas pipeline with a length of roughly 8,000 kilometers for natural gas power flowing from site. Everyone is probably aware that Russia and China built a natural gas pipeline prior to this project, which is currently known as the Siberian Power One natural gas pipeline. Because there is already a pipeline for natural gas transmission, Russia's participation seems unneeded. Will you build the Siberian Power to natural gas pipeline? Siberia being a powerhouse for Russia, the construction of one pipeline began in September of 2020. The project, which will cost $21.04 billion in US dollars, will be formally launched in the not-too-distant future. This pipeline project will span more than 3,000 kilometers and feature a pipe diameter of 1420 millimeters. The pipeline passes via a number of key cities inside the Russian Federation, including Irkutsk, the Republic of Sakha, and much beyond, and lands to Ligo, a Vista-owned city near China and Russia. As of 2019, natural gas resources from Russia were delivered to China through this pipeline,